Get a jump on local equestrians. Who will finish best in show? Find out today on The Express. This week's stories go round and round.
The more we actually use the home, the more efficient it becomes.
Starting with the grey water system at this Whistler house. Then retirement picks up speed at the Potter's Wheel.
I love throwing. It is such an enjoyable, therapeutic experience.
And social rides gain momentum in Squamish.
I can't believe the number of riders out tonight.
Join us for the turning season today on The Express.
Welcome to The Express on Shaw TV. I'm your host, Nicole Fitzgerald. And local equestrians are getting ready to ride the rails here at the Squamish Valley Equestrian Association's riding rings. I assure you there will be no horsing around. A BC champion is in our midst. Award-winning describes our next story as well. He owns an SUV, and he's not the kind of guy that tears out the plastic from an envelope before recycling it. But Richard Wyne is a proud owner of this Whistler first.
There you go. Hi, Nicole.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thanks for coming.
Visiting the Wyne family, their newly built home looks like any other neighboring house in Whistler's Rainbow development.
Let's go on in here.
However, a different perspective suggests otherwise.
Solar panels make this house quite unique. They're integrated right into the house. With this home, we tried to prove that with enough thought and enough dedication, you can be very green without being a fanatic about it. Come on, let's go upstairs. Let's go.
Nothing overtly screams hippie haven. Green at the Wyne home becomes as simple as doing the laundry, a task that fuels other home operations.
We don't vent the dryer straight to the outside. It recirculates back through the system. The more we actually use the home, the more efficient it becomes. And that's because we have a grey water heat recovery system where when you wash your hands or you take a shower, rather than that energy just going off and into the sewer, we recapture the heat. And that's how we actually heat the space of the house.
Including the concrete polished floors.
We're using hydronics, and the hydronics are the water through the floors to heat the floors. We needed the thermal mass, so we use concrete for that. And we think that it looks very stylish. These are the low-E triple glazed fiberglass frame Cascadia windows I was talking about that go right to the ceiling. And it just gives the room a bigger feel.
And retains the heat. Green principles, but not at the cost of comfort. A small floor plan at a respectable, environmentally friendly 2,200 square feet was made to feel more spacious with a meandering floor plan and uniquely placed windows.
And we looked at doing other things, like putting a window, the one behind me now, that's between the cabinet and the counter, just to give that extra little bit of light so that the home feels bigger than it really is.
Many construction materials come with a Mother Nature bedtime story. This marble countertop was sourced from the now torn down Brentwood Bay Mall. Other items shared tales of new technology.
All of our faucets are the Kohler water-wise, so they only use 1.5 liters of water per minute, as opposed to a typical faucet which can use 2.5 liters. Ooh, thanks.
Small decisions, big decisions. Planning a green home is not straightforward. The Wynes asked themselves two things when confronted with a choice. Was the product produced within close proximity to them? And what was its life expectancy?
First, Living Edge Design built the cabinets right here in Whistler. So that reduces the carbon footprint. They have the dovetailed design, which is greener. We're using less screws and metal. It's very durable, so it should last for years and years and years, which is the most green functionality, I guess we can call it, of all.
A green principle not seen by the naked eye, but definitely felt right here at home. From Whistler, I'm Nicole Fitzgerald for Shaw TV.
This RDC home recently received a 2010 Georgie Award for Innovative Technology. Well, tack up for a day of jumping. Riders start with a score of 0, then they're penalized if they miss a jump or if they don't finish the course on time. Next, Kay Austin is a retired elementary school teacher. Retirement, well, it's supposed to be about relaxing, but this Squamish artist finds herself busier than ever.
Throwing is an ancient skill. It's about 4,000 years old.
Swirling, turning, spinning. Muddied hands give shape to moistened clay. A serene act, one that takes artist Kay Austin away.
I love throwing. It is such an enjoyable, therapeutic experience that even if you don't sell your pots, even if nothing comes of it, it is so much fun to do.
Kay Austin is retired, or at least she is supposed to be. The meditative process of molding clay that originally drew her to the wheel over 40 years ago is now keeping her busier than ever.
I just kept up with my skills, and then when I retired, I decided I'm just going to go for it full time.
In her Garibaldi Highlands home studio, Kay prepares just the right amount of clay for her next piece.
So now I'm going to ready it for the wheel. Right from the word go, I have to have decided what it is that I'm going to make before I even center the clay onto the wheel head.
Once on the wheel, the soft lines and round edges take shape. To add her own twist to the finished pieces, Kay adds opposing shapes.
Throwing gives you these nice round, rhythmic pieces that you can alter. Hand building gives you nice, straight corners, squares. I like to use both techniques to make forms that are totally different.
Kay's finished pieces embody a whimsical feel with slanted lines and signature swirls, like something straight out of Alice in Wonderland.
Even if I would like to make things that are the same, I can only make them similar. So I have families of things, if you like, but essentially each one is unique and different.
These imaginative pieces are finding an audience, with her works in over 10 locations, including the display cases at the YVR Departure Lounge and the newly opened Portico Gallery in downtown Squamish.
It's always so affirming and encouraging, especially when you get it from quarters that you're not expecting. You're just working and it's you and the wheel or you and the clay, and when you're invited to a show, it is so affirming. Okay, there you go. That's it.
If she isn't already busy enough, she's drawing others' hands into this addictive ceramic art by teaching classes and workshops.
Both hands together. That's it. You're just concentrating now on just pushing down the middle. And out towards the side, out towards the side, out towards the side, and stop.
As the saying goes, retirement is when you stop living at work and begin working at living. From Kay Austin's home studio, I'm Jessica Turner for Shaw TV.
When Kay isn't at her pottery wheel, she's busy globe-trotting the world with her husband. One of their recent adventures was a trip to Mount Everest. Well, jumpers are readying for the ring. Some are beginners, others champions.
Right now we're doing our second horse show of the year. We do a series of 3 every season, and we're into the jumping part now, which is a little bit more exciting for everyone, for the viewers. And we're getting pretty high with the height.
Who do we have here?
Coco.
She's beautiful.
Yeah, she's really pretty. I love black horses, so.
And what makes her such a good competitor?
She is very fast and she likes to jump very high.
Does she get a treat at the end of this?
Yes, she gets molasses cookies. The Squamish Valley Equestrian Association is about 100 members strong. We started the association up in about the early 60s, and we're a nonprofit organization. We built these 2 rings on strictly volunteer and donations, which is really exciting.
I come from Pemberton and I train at a barn called Sea to Sky Meadows. I just think about getting him to go forward and also memorizing the course.
There are set courses which are set up along the rail, and there's different courses for each class. And the girls have to go fast and go clear. If they knock down any rails, they get time faults. And if they go slower than the posted time, they also get time faults. So it's whoever can go fast, clear within the time allowed, and they win.
You're obviously competing in jumping today, but what are some of the other events that you compete in?
I've competed in dressage and eventing, which is the 3 different components of riding. You do like a quiet, calm course of trotting in like circles and doing different patterns on a ring, and then jumping, and then cross country is you go out and you jump over like logs and ditches and stuff like that. It's really fun. Good.
New members of all ages and disciplines are welcome. You don't even need to own a horse. You can find out more about this nonprofit organization on their website. From Squamish to Whistler to Lillooet, the Express has your stories of the sea to sky.
Still to come, what has a Russian TV crew investigating Braylorn and Lillooet?
Had a look at it and instantly thought that Buddy was in the wrong clothes. Looked like a hoodie. Did not fit in the sunglasses, as the sunglass collection just did not work for me.
And you've probably seen it from the inside, but get beneath the underbelly of this historic landmark.
50 concrete footings prop up the building.
Community programming on Shaw has been generously sponsored in part by Artina's handcrafted Canadian jewelry, 387 Water Street in Gastown and Government Street in Victoria.
Welcome back to the Squamish Valley Equestrian Association's Riding Rings. I'm your host, Nicole Fitzgerald, and you're watching The Express. A picture was posted on the Braylorn Museum website. It garnered worldwide attention, so much so that a Russian television crew had to come out to investigate.
Special effects and fantastic science fiction have entertained our imaginations with the idea of time travel for decades. But if it was really possible, where would you want to go? And how exactly would you plan on getting there?
If you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style?
My guess is your first choice might not be Lillooet or nearby Braylorn in the 1940s, but the internet has suggested in recent years that that is precisely where one modern-day hipster has left us proof of time travel.
First time I heard about it was on the internet. Thought it was rather neat. Had a look at it and instantly thought that Buddy was in the wrong clothes. Looked like a hoodie. Did not fit in the sunglasses, as the sunglass collection just did not work for me. They're too modern for the time, 1942. They didn't, that's way too styling.
Well, I think it's a time traveler. I believe in it. It's really different though. Like, I don't know, he just looks too modern.
I think it's pretty plausible. Pretty much the hoodie and like the shades, even the hairstyle is a little bit different.
You see, the reopening of the South Fork Bridge in 1941 Braylorn drew quite the crowd, including one oddly dressed man wearing what appears to be a print t-shirt, hoodie, and wraparound shades. He's now been dubbed the time-traveling hipster by thousands around the world on the internet, as well as locals. Initially, people brushed the photo off as a photoshopped fraud. Comments littered the web saying the lighting was off or it was from a movie set. This motivated a Russian TV program to send a team to find the original photo and anything else they could about our hipster friend.
Is the original? Is this the original?
So the question was, who is this gentleman in this photo? And that brought us to the archives in the Lillooet Museum so that we could go through the newspapers and see if we could find that picture duplicated in the paper or any information that might shed some light on who this giant possible time traveler was standing next to Margaret Murray in that photograph.
Debunkers now explain that the man is wearing aviators from the time, a Letterman shirt, and perfectly fits into the era. Susan has a theory.
After going through the newspapers, I came upon an article, I stumbled upon it, that I think is the answer to who the gentleman in that photo was. I don't believe he was a time traveler. I believe he was in the RCAF during World War II, stationed in England, and he was home in Lillooet on leave in 1941. His name, if this is indeed him in the photo, was C. Edward Russell, and he stood 6 foot 4.5 inches tall.
Case closed. Or is it? Russell nor the Creamer family whom he was staying with could be found to verify Susan's hypothesis, leaving just a sliver of doubt and leaving Lillooet and Braylorne as a location of interest for the time being. In Lillooet, I'm Paul McClellan for Shaw TV.
This week we've had stories from Lillooet, Whistler and Squamish. And our next one takes us down to Vancouver, where powder puffs and lipsticks aren't just tools of beauty, but confidence.
I'm getting my nails done, pretty.
Tonight, Lydia Thomas is getting pampered. She's just one of dozens of women from the downtown east side who are taking part in Beauty Night.
It's a safe place where women could come and get their nails done, their hair. I got my hair done.
Beauty Night was created by Caroline McGillibrain, an actress who spent time in the downtown east side prepping for a role, and she was inspired by the women who lived there.
And one night when I was there, I ended up doing one of the girls' hair and makeup because I wanted to make her feel better. And after that, the women kept calling me the beauty lady.
Since that night, Carolyn and her team have done over 11,000 makeovers.
The word beauty, it's like, what is it? And it's how you feel about yourself. So if you feel really good about yourself in body, mind, and spirit, you feel confident you can do anything in this world.
Really amazing people. Like, I've met such strong, courageous people here that really inspire me.
We have hair, makeup, nails, aesthetics. We have foot care as well.
Carolyn has over 400 volunteers, like Julia. She's a medical student, and tonight she's on pedicure duty.
At the same time, I can be checking for if they have any unhealed wounds on their feet, and can start chatting with them a little bit about diabetes and what some of the signs are that they can look for.
They're all awesome, really nice. They're friendly. There's no judgments here.
I like that I can get my nails done, I can get a massage, you know, a lot of things that I can't afford.
Beauty Night is growing, and Carolyn is getting help from Vancouver Foundation to hire someone to help her.
Vancouver Foundation's been incredible. They donated $15,000 and have committed for the next 3 years. And so because of that, we've been able to actually have a program coordinator, which has been absolutely fantastic.
Since stepping foot into this room, the change in the women is dramatic. Their beauty and confidence will shine long after they leave it.
Just walking home, it's like walking on clouds.
I feel awesome, like I feel like a new person when I walk up.
I'm Bianca Salterbeck in Vancouver for The Express.
Learn more about Beauty Night at beautynight.org. Donations are always welcome. Well, The Express goes round and round this week, from pottery wheels to fat tires. After the break, this new pass is your passport to 70+ kilometers of single track.
Getting out once a week with the SORCA rides is definitely good motivation for me.
You're watching Shaw TV.
Welcome back to The Express on Shaw TV. I'm your host, Nicole Fitzgerald. And the Squamish Valley Equestrian Association is the starting point for local riders. What they learn here at these events will prepare them for future competitions in the Lower Mainland. Star quality is also at the heart of our next story. The Empress Hotel. She's been overlooking Victoria's Harbour for more than 100 years. If she could talk, she'd have a lot of stories to tell.
Travel along with us on the Quality Assured Collision Road Trip as we explore the many marvelous attractions and activities of beautiful British Columbia.
When you arrive by horse and carriage on this road trip in BC's capital city, you're in for a real treat.
Easy, boy. Oh.
It's one of Victoria's most prestigious and iconic landmarks.
Tally-ho.
Tally-ho.
It's been towering over the inner harbour for just over 100 years, all the while complementing the historic and postcard-proud Parliament buildings across the way. The Fairmont Empress, a 477-room hotel complex, which has grown over the years to take up an entire city block. The Empress is rather pleasing to the eye from the outside, but what about behind the scenes? This working hotel has a reputation for being the creme de la creme, so there's sure to be some undiscovered nooks and crannies.
This is known as the Empress Dining Room. And we are back into the old part of the hotel. You get that feeling in here right away, especially to notice the ceiling. You always have to look up. This ceiling is quite unique. You'd see this in a lot of British stately homes, but it's actually all made of plaster. And then it was all hand carved and painted over to look like mahogany. So that is plaster, it is not wood.
And now we are in the Crystal Ballroom, which is where many members of higher society would have had a luncheon laid out for them, including the great man himself, Sir Winston Churchill, who in 1929 would have had his fingers into a pretty healthy buffet. And I've been told that they put whiskey in his teapot. Shall we dance?
But also, in 2002, we also had the Queen here. She was celebrating her Diamond Jubilee, and there was a huge luncheon in here for her.
Queen Elizabeth?
Oh yes, she was Queen.
Now I'm going to take you into a part of the hotel where the Queen would never be seen. Past the boiler room, they don't make them like that anymore, into the basement. Underneath the hotel is a bit of a tunnel system. 50 concrete footings prop up the building, and they're sitting on about 2,800 log pilings.
They're actually 50-foot Douglas fir logs that go right down to the bedrock, and they sit in a blue and a yellow clay.
Some people think that the Empress still sinks further into the ground each year. Well, according to yearly risk management audits, it's not budging at all.
We do have to respect the space.
The respectable and historic Fairmont Empress, named after Queen Victoria, the Empress of India. So next time you marvel past this majestic masterpiece, why not step inside for a peek into the past? Reporting in Victoria for the Quality Assured Collision Road Trip, I'm James Green.
Entertaining and informative, the Quality Assured Collision Road Trip. Weekends on Shaw TV. Always something new and exciting.
The Empress doesn't take itself too seriously. They hosted a royal wedding viewing, and all of the patrons came out in their pajamas and tiaras for this 3 a.m. event. In addition to working the ring, riders here really enjoy the incredible network of trails in Squamish, and they aren't the only ones.
Later on in the show, getting to know new trails and new friends with the Squamish Off-Road Cycling Association.
Now what about meeting some of our four-legged friends? Let's pay a visit to our local animal shelters. There's lots of bellies looking for a good rub at the Squamish SPCA and Wagon Whistler.
Hi, welcome to Wag in Whistler. This afternoon I'm introducing you to Buzz. He is a playful 6-month-old kitten. He was found on the side of the road when he was a small kitten in Lillooet and has now come to us and become quite a playful, fun cat to have. He loves to purr and to snuggle, but he's also super energetic and a ton of fun. He would make a wonderful family pet. If you're interested in Buzz, come by Wag and spend some time with him. A few wonderful puppies that we have for adoption. They are almost 4 weeks old now, so they'll be ready to go to their forever homes in about 4 weeks. What they are is a mystery. They are purebred mutts, but they are very loving, very sweet, and very fun.
Hi, and thanks for visiting the Squamish SPCA. Here's some adoptable animals we have. So this is Duffy. He's about 6 months old. His name is Duffy because he came down the Duffy. He is a special needs boy. He's neutered, but he has a malformation of the bones in his leg. So he needs an indoor home only, but he loves dogs and cats and kids and everything he can think of. He's super sweet. So this is Snap. She's about 3 years old. She is a Manx. She has no tail. She's a spayed female. Her name is Snap for a reason. She has a bit of attitude, would prefer a home with no kids, no cats, no dogs. Super playful. She's quite the character. She's a pretty girl, that's for sure.
Love pets, love animals. The SPCA and WEG are always looking for volunteers to care for the Sea to Sky's cutest residents. Donations to the SPCA are needed more than ever. They're conducting the Whistler dog sled investigations at a cost of $250,000. The government is only supplementing $100,000, so more funds are needed. Donations and volunteers, where would our nonprofits be without them? Half of the Squamish Off-Road Cycling Association membership are volunteers for the group. And after visiting the social ride, I can see why.
It's just a great turnout tonight. It's really nice to see some new faces, and I'll get to know those people, and hopefully they'll become a part of the regular rides and do the toonies as well, and yeah, be a part of the biking community here.
Tonight's ride is as much about chatter as it is about bike chains. More famously known as SORCA, the Squamish Off-Road Cycling Association hosts a bi-weekly social ride, introducing two-wheelers to mountain biking in a supportive setting.
Well, I think the social rides are great for any riders, but in particular the beginner riders. It's a great way to get to know the trails.
Before the event, SORCA members Shelley Genovese and Melanie Richards took me for a warm-up on roller coaster to learn more about this grassroots organization.
Getting out once a week with the SORCA rides is definitely good motivation for me. I always encourage people to go to the SORCA Toonie rides. People just socialize and have fun, and it's a great way to break up the week, I find.
In addition to the social rides, SORCA also hosts the Toonie rides. Every Wednesday night, they switch it up between cross-country and downhill riding. It is a timed race, but most riders are just gunning for a good time. After all, it's only $2, which buys you a ride, a bite to eat, and a beer.
See, people think it's very competitive, but it doesn't have to be. Your riding is timed, but myself, I'm not very fast, so I generally just hang out at the back with my friends and we chat the whole way up. And we just have fun, you know. Hey, run on!
It's definitely one big happy family on the trails. Every SORCA membership contributes to maintaining and expanding Squamish's trail network. But if riders prefer their single-track solo, there are new ways to contribute to the extensive 200-kilometer trail network that SORCA plays guardian to.
The Trail Pass is a new initiative by SORCA this year. We're trying to get more money from the trail users to get money to go directly into the trails. There's been so much traffic in the last couple of years, and it keeps increasing, and to the point where volunteers just can't keep up with the amount of maintenance. The SORCA Trail Pass is optional. It's $15 that goes towards the trail fund, and it's available at all the local bike shops and at Nestor's Market.
Or pick one up at the next SORCA event. Be careful, this fat tire enthusiasm is catching.
I can't believe the number of riders out tonight. It's a great way to start the season.
From Squamish, I'm Nicole Fitzgerald for Shaw TV.
Visit sorca.ca. They've got so much information on their website, including trail updates, as well as new information on their pass. I know I've already got mine. There's so much to do here in the Sea to Sky. The Express Spotlight has a few other ideas.
The Britannia Downhill Skateboard Classic returns. Competitors will reach speeds of 120 kilometers plus at this adrenaline race. Spectator friendly, finals begin at noon with Speed Demons gunning for the top $2,900 prize. Donate children's books and toys and make a difference to those less fortunate in Africa. Drop-offs are located at the Pemberton Library and Community Center.
Jumping is a great spectator sport, so come on out. And if you missed out on this weekend's event, don't worry. They're going to have another show on June 25th and 26th. And that wraps up this week's show here at the Squamish Valley Equestrian Association's riding rings. If you'd like to see your story idea on the Express, drop us a line at seatoskyexpress@shaw.ca. You can also get our show on YouTube. Just search Shaw TV Whistler. Join us next week. It's Whistler's Creative 5 Eclectic Show with poetry reading, spoken word, music, and more. So until then, from all of us on Shaw TV, thanks for watching.
Nicole Fitzgerald's wardrobe provided by Peak Performance, hairstyling by the Loft Salon, and makeup provided by Beauty Mark.
POV camera, courtesy of Contour.
While filming on the mountain, parking provided by the Fire Rock Lounge.